Welcome to the Microdose. My name's Eddie.
What up? It's Jefferson.
And we're here with another episode. Today is Monday. We're supposed to record yesterday, but we ended up just kicking it at Michael's and watching some rap battles and other stuff.
Yeah, my girlfriend is doing good.
Your girlfriend? Oh. Michael likes dykes. That's his new thing. He's into dykey women that rap.
Only if they get their teeth done and wear women clothes, though.
We were watching some rap battles, and Michael found one of the rap battle ladies very attractive if she fixed her teeth and started wearing regular clothes.
Let's calm down. Nobody said she was very attractive. Let's relax.
You said she looked all right. Yeah, we kidding. But yeah, man, it's kind of funny, though, how things work out, because literally I went to the gym with Miles today, and he was like, it's so funny that you guys ended up recording today, because now we can talk about, I'm sure the whole world knows by now, the whole Will Smith situation.
Yeah, it's all I've seen on my timeline. I'm actually honestly tired of seeing it already.
Yeah, no, it is pretty crazy. Now, do you think it's staged? That's my question for you.
I mean, I couldn't necessarily say or not, but I think it's just kind of stupid that after the whole Kanye incident, niggas are just allowed to walk on stage when they're not supposed to anymore. Like,
you did think they'd had security handle that by now?
Yeah,
or
like,
something?
I don't care who the fuck it is walking on stage. If you're not supposed to be there, sit your ass in your seat and get your bald ass wife clowned on.
And that's what I was like telling them. I was like, this man's doing his job. His job is to be
like,
a comedian.
Literally.
And like,
we don't even know if he wrote that joke.
Oh,
like,
I know.
You know how many writers there are for these things? Like, we don't even know if that was his joke. And he got the shit slapped out of him for it, as he quoted. He said it.
I'm going to go ahead and play the video. If you guys haven't seen it, but we're going to go ahead and play it.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Such a simple joke, too. Like,
and the thing is, Will was laughing until he realized that she wasn't. And he's like, oh, I gotta be a big tough man. And go, man,
I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow.
yeah, and that's my thing, too. Like you said, he was laughing, and the crowd was laughing. Like, if it was a bad joke and, like, no one was laughing, everybody was upset, I'd get it if he'd bombed.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Right after this joke. That's what I would
I
have
would
said.
have been like, you mean Jada?
Oh, yeah, man.
Or just talk about, I'd be like, all right, I'm not going to say your wife's name. I'm just talking about that dude sitting next to you.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, he could have gone way harder on so many more topics.
I would have after that.
I know, me
like,
too.
If you would have slapped me, bro, I'm going in on your wife. Hard.
I mean, that is a fade on site. You know, like, you should have just...
I mean, Chris Rock ain't about to beat up Will Smith. He'll get beat up. But
I feel it.
You at least got to defend yourself.
I know, but I ain't going to get punked on national TV like that. Like, I'd rather nah.
Well, I mean, this is also the fucking awards. Like, this is his job. He can't be hitting niggas at his job. Yeah. He ain't never going to get booked for nothing like that ever again. And
the show could have just ended that there right then, you know? It's like, they don't have a host or anything like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have backup hosts or something like that. But, yeah, it could have gone way south, you know?
You know, I think Will is wrong in the situation for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, too. And it's like, even if you don't like the joke, just don't laugh. Like, just fucking sit there and fucking let him do his job.
And, like, girls are like, oh, no, that's what he's supposed to do. He's a man. He's supposed to defend his wife. His wife wasn't in no danger. His wife wasn't in no harm. A nigga said some slick shit, and he's a comedian, and he's a host. It's his fucking job. Like,
yeah, and, like, people were like...
You expect your man to get into a physical altercation every time your feelings are hurt? So you just want to put your family or your man at risk every time you don't feel all right in a situation? Hey, go risk your life. Go risk this nigga pulling out a gun on you because he called me a bitch and we were walking past him. Go risk going to jail for fighting some nigga in the streets because he said some shit about me. Like, shut up. Be an adult.
And, like, I read a tweet, which is, I mean, just in general, too, Will Smith's at that level where it's like, that's a lawsuit, bro. You can milk this for so much money and like, you know, really press charges.
I would have been like, my jaw broke.
Some guy was like, I would have fell like this and just like fell to the ground and shit. Like,
I ought to hit him with that life alert fall.
Yeah, exactly,
Like, what
exactly.
you mean?
Just like way after you, I don't give a fuck. I'm falling, dude. Y'all saw that, right? Will Smith hit me. You got it on camera.
I just want to see the fucking camera view of Jada while Will is going to do this. Cause like, is she like, oh yeah, go hit that nigga, or is she like, oh shit, like,
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I did see a funny meme that was like, it was Jada talking to Will, and she was like, well, Tupac would have.
Oh yeah. Tupac would have shot him.
And then as soon as she said Tupac would have, all right, get the fuck out. Like, shit is sorry as fuck, to be honest with you.
Yeah, people were like, Tupac would have shot him. It's so funny, but I was gonna say something about this. It was like pretty much it's just like, to me it's just very odd that, like you said, the scenario is allowed to happen. Like, you would think someone's just gonna run up and be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, sit back down. This is not planned. I get it. He's Will Smith and stuff like that.
A full mile to get to Chris Rock.
And the way he loaded up too, like
Bro, he literally stanced out real quick and then hit him. Like, that shit didn't make no sense to me. And Chris Rock, nigga, you ain't see that shit coming?
I know, that's what I'm saying, dude. And like, I get it. Like, you know, people were saying like she has a sickness where it's alopecia. She's like, you know, losing her hair. Like, that's not cool to make fun of someone for losing their hair and stuff like that.
Did he make fun of her hair?
I guess that the joke had something to do with that.
I think the joke had to do with G.I. Jane being a terrible fucking movie, and didn't nobody actually want that shit to come the fuck out?
See, I don't know.
Oh,
why
we're
people
waiting
were
on that G.I. Jane. Ain't nobody waiting on that dumbass shit.
Yeah,
Don't nobody give a fuck about that movie, nigga. I don't even remember when the first one came out. Who give a fuck about Jada Pinkett Smith?
At this point,
Like,
I feel you,
bro. After Set It Off, who give a fuck?
Yeah, nah. Will Smith definitely, I think, is fucking wrong for this shit. It's just crazy, mad disrespectful too. And then he ended up like winning and then crying at the end. Like,
Yeah, I saw that.
just super fucking actor type. Like, bro,
Yeah, I feel like he was acting that whole thing. Like, stop it.
just being extra, hella extra.
Like, you gonna sit, at least keep that same energy for the whole night.
Yeah,
Like, don't do that shit and then 10 minutes later, oh, I'm so sorry, and sit up here fucking crocodile tears in front of everybody. Like, bro, stand on that or don't. Either you meant what you did and you, like, you gonna stand behind your wife behind anything, and if anybody tries again, it's gonna be the same shit, or you a hoe ass nigga.
And in that situation, like, what would you do if you were married and someone was like joking about your girl and she was visibly like very upset?
I'm
and
gonna
she
look at
looked
that bitch
you
and
like,
laugh.
It's a joke, dude.
Like, straight, I'm not gonna fucking just laugh in her face, but I'm like, bro, calm your ass down. Like, it's not that serious. Like, we clown on each other all day, every day.
Oh, and what's fucked up is like, if his goal was like for her not to be made fun of or talked about, he made it way worse. Because I've seen so many comedians come out. Tom Segura has been going hard all day on Twitter, just like look, I'm gonna look it up, motherfucker. Tom Segura has been going crazy. Most comics are like, nah, fuck Will Smith. Like, how are you like doing that? You know,
That was just some hoe ass shit.
yeah. Oh, look, this bitch been bald. Jokes about it or her are fine. It was tame as fuck. You super sensitive about it. Buy a fucking wig.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, and then he's like,
She's strong and empowered with her hair.
fuck Will Smith's candy ass smacking a dude 4 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter. He's just in his feelings because his bald-headed bitch been fucking around on him for years, and he takes it. We all know he wishes he could slap Cuck Will.
Yeah, I think that's definitely some built-up aggression towards his wife he just had to let out. And I feel like it might have been another one of those things where it's like, now you got me looking stupid out here again.
Oh, you know what? Too, I saw a video that someone said, this is the person that really deserved the smack. And it was them on the red carpet before they went in. And it's an interviewer, and she's like, oh, Jada, Will. She's like, I love it. She's like, I'm ready for it all. What's next? She's like, Red Table Talk's great. She's like, I'm ready for more entanglements. And then you could really, and then Jada's like, no more of that. Like, no more of those. And then Will's like, obviously not laughing and shit. He's like trying to be like cordial and shit. Mm-hmm. But inside, you probably think like, he probably already hella mad. And inside, like, bitch, you really gonna bring that shit up? Like,
he wakes up mad.
So I think, like you said, it's just a lot of built up shit where it's like, yeah, I think they just need to like leave each other. Toxic ass relationship.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're still together. Ain't none of my business really, but like, sound like some bullshit.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from that though. We had to talk about it just because, like, literally that shit happened yesterday, and we were supposed to film and we didn't, and that ended up blowing up everywhere, dude.
Well, brighter side of things, yesterday me and my brother went to this Thai food place right down the street from my house, and it was hands down the best food experience I've ever had in my life. Like, straight up.
That papaya salad was bomb, dude.
Dude, it was stupid.
What else did you have there?
We ordered a bunch of shit. We got the fucking damn, I'm forgetting what the name of the shit is. A tom kha. We got some green curry. We got the papaya salad, chow mein, and like some pot stickers.
Damn, y'all went in, bro.
But so it was a place we'd never been. My brother really wanted Thai food, so he just like looked up online like Thai food close to me, see what was popping, you know what I mean? And he checked some of the reviews, and this place has like 5 stars, like little small spot, but it has 5 stars. And I looked on Yelp and had 4 stars on Yelp with really great reviews, and I was like, and most of them are 5-star. I was like, for sure, let's go check this place out. We walk in, and there's no one there.
Oh, what the
like,
fuck?
There's no one inside the restaurant
Just
except for the owner.
Oh, wow.
And like the cook, you know what I mean? But we walk in, get a table, and the lady at first, like, I'm like, all right, this is going to be a little annoying because as soon as we sat down, like 2 minutes later, she was like, you ready? I was like, nah, bro. You ain't even brought us no water yet. No, I'm not ready.
We just sat down. That's fine.
And then she had asked like 2 more times, but me and my brother had never been there, so we were going through the whole menu and shit. But time goes on, we fucking end up ordering, and we're talking to the lady, and mind you, she's from Thailand, and she has like a really thick accent, but my grandma's from Vietnam, so she has a really thick accent, so I'm kind of used to it. And so we're sitting there talking to her, chopping it up, and we're just having a great conversation. Like, she's talking about her family, where she's from, all of her grandkids and shit, and how she's like supporting her family through, she has like 3 different restaurants out here, and she's putting her grandkids through college. She bought 3 of her grandkids cars because, like, you know, they're doing good in school and they have jobs and shit. Like,
immigrants, no one grinds harder, dude.
Dude, and it's crazy. Like, she was even saying, like, everyone in her family, like, you know, works really hard and shit. And the reason why she, like, buys these businesses or these restaurants is so that she can give them to her kids. So the restaurant we were at yesterday, she was going to give to her daughter, but her daughter worked there for like 3 months and was like, nah, I don't want to do this. So
her passion.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
now all that money that is in this restaurant, and the lady said she put like $110,000 in this restaurant, and her daughter doesn't even want it.
Damn.
So now she's going to sell it to the cook's family because they're also from Thailand. So her cook is going to be cooking the same meals, it's just not going to be her restaurant anymore. So that's cool. But the food
awesome.
came out, dude. And like, I'm not really a fan of Thai food to begin with. But this food came out, dude, and it was fucking amazing. Like, it's the best Thai food I've ever had in my life. And that just tied with the conversation that we were having with the lady. Like, we talked to her for like 45 minutes, dude, while we were eating. And
What's the place called?
I ain't going to tell nobody.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna plug them and shit, dude.
Nah, I ain't gonna tell nobody.
You're like, it was empty and shit. I'm like, people will probably want to go and stuff.
That's cool. They not. That's my spot.
That's
That
funny.
is me
dude.
and my brother's spot. Ain't nobody else going there.
No, that's just
But
fun.
that shit is so fucking good. Oh, the lady's name is Sang. So shout out Sang. You're an amazing woman. Me and my brother loved you. We had a great time. But yeah, it was just a really cool experience that me and my brother were not expecting to have yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, we're just going to get some food real quick, and we're going to come back to the crib and kick it. And we were there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just posted up, having a great fucking time talking to this lady. And me and my brother were sitting there. I don't know how many times we just looked at each other and were like, this is amazing. Because it was a really, really great time yesterday.
That's dope, man. Hell yeah. Your brother's definitely a cool cat, man. Mm-hmm. And motherfucker was going in at the gym. I'm like, bro, you also got to take a little breather and drink some water because he won't even like. He gets in there, he's just like,
no, he gets
I'm
in
not
his zone,
stopping,
dude, and he just goes,
stopping. Yeah. I respect it though. There's some stuff that we did where I was like, I don't know if I could do this, and then there's some stuff that I showed him where he's like, I don't know if I can do this. So
he get you on that Stairmaster?
Yeah, I got on the Stairmaster for 10 minutes, burn 100 calories. I really didn't want to do it because I had already walked my dog for a while. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I really just want to get into like lifting or some strength shit, you know? But regardless, I did that shit. Your brother was sweating, boy. Oh, he was on it.
Shout out me and my brother, first of all. Because me and my brother started this weight loss journey like a month or two, or probably like 2 months ago. And he was at 230, 235. I was at 225, like 227. And we're both at like 203 right now. And he looks better than me because he got a couple inches on me. But like, boy's looking good. And he's been in that gym putting in work.
Yeah, no, like, it's crazy because after we did the Stairmaster, burned like 100 calories, went downstairs. He's like, all right, let's do this tire. I'm like, how much you weigh? He's like, oh, like 210. I'm like, 210, bro. I'm like, damn. And then I look at the tire and it says 180 on there. I'm like, oh, no, it's 180. He's like, yeah. But then in the center, it has like all the weights on there. He's like, he added it up. He's like, actually, it's like 230. And then I just looked at him. I was like, I don't know if I could do that. He's like 30. I was like, oh, 3 sets of 10. He's like, nah, 30 straight. I was like, oh, I was like, okay. I was like, I'll try it, but I was like, I don't know, bro. Once I hit
legs,
You
lifted your legs?
Yeah. I used my whole body, my legs, my upper body, everything. But so I just did it with him. Because it's like at EOS, it's like a half tire. So you push it, and then the other person stands on the other side and pushes it back over. So it's dope. We're sitting there. We hit about 15. Your brother's sweating. He's ready to do more. I'm like, I need a break, bro. I'm like, I need a break. And so I stopped. And then he's like, I'm going to do a couple more then. So he just keeps going, does a few more. And then he's like, you got 11 more, man. Like, I was like, shit.
That boy's dedicated.
I didn't even want to do it, but he just motivated me even more. So I was just like, all right, let's do this shit. Fuck it.
Yep.
I just got through that bitch. And then after that, he wanted to do like some more other like stuff that I haven't done, like jumping on the platform, doing some like squat, jumping back off of it 10 times. So we hit that. We're just back to back doing exercises. After that, we did some push-ups, and then I was like, you want to do some planks? He's like, and then so I'm used to doing planks, so I'm like, you know, a little more comfortable with it. He's like, this is hard as shit.
I was trying to tell that boy. I was telling him like a while back when me and you were going to the gym, we were doing the planks. So like, bro, that shit ain't no joke.
It's no joke, dude.
It really isn't. I thought that shit was gonna be like you just holding yourself up, bruh. That shit is terrible.
Yeah, and then so we did that, and it was just cool to see him like still even was like we were just trading ideas. We did some wall like sits, bro. I could not do it because I had just done leg day 2 days ago, so my shit right now was like sore. So I tried to do it as long as I could, but he did a full minute nonstop. I did like maybe like 35 seconds, bro.
The last time I did a minute. As soon as that minute was over, I just fucking slid down on the ground. Like, I was done. Like, I was just looking at that clock, just waiting. As soon as that minute hit, I just fell to the ground. I was done.
That's how he felt with the planks. That's how I felt with the wall sit.
Really?
I was like, bro, I cannot do this right now.
Dude, the planks. That side plank.
Oh, boy.
That shit, bro. I hate that one. Because I can do the fucking, you know, on your forearms or whatever. But on that side, that shit suck. But honestly, I feel like I need to do that more because I feel like my like left side of my like back over here isn't very strong.
And it's really cool just because like now when us three are in it, like it's just cool that we're motivating each other to do it. And just being in there with him, it really made me happy because I was like, these are like strength exercises that build that burn fat as well. Right. So it's like nice to tone out the body. So I can see why your brother's getting like, not only is he getting like kind of fit, like swole, but he's losing a lot of weight because most of these exercises are burning fat, but also gaining him strength.
Yeah, my boy's back looks cool. Good.
Yeah,
I was at the house yesterday and he didn't have a shirt on, and he turned around and he's like grabbing something. I was like, I fucking see you, dude.
Yeah, and then we got into some dips. And he was like, damn, these are hard as fuck. He's like, I'm gonna work on trying to do these more. I was just like, I see you.
Dips. Like, I used to be really good at them, but my shoulders cannot handle that shit right now.
No, yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, start with like doing just what are they called? I don't even know what they're called, but you just pretty much get a rope and you pull down.
Oh,
it's for
yeah.
your triceps. Tricep pull downs, whatever the fuck they're called.
He's been doing the thing that we used to do in the gym where you hold the weights, you know, just going up and down and shit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. No, that's good because I was telling him dips are a lot harder because it's you trying to lift your whole body weight. I'm like, when you think about that, it's like a lot. I'm like, why do you think I can barely do like 6 to 8? And I'm like dying, you know? But yeah, it was cool. Went there, so I feel a lot better. Like, I know today's going to be a great day because I already got that out the way. I feel productive as fuck. Took my dogs out. Now we're doing this podcast, so it's lit. You know, it's a lit day. All right, but I have a little sad news. I think a lot of people might have heard about this. We're getting our info from NBC News, but there's a video going around. I don't think stuff like that should be shared, but you know, sometimes you come across it and it's just like so viral. It's like the Will Smith thing that it just comes across so many times that you're just like, okay, what is this, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you're not trying to see something very graphic, I don't recommend seeing the video. We're probably not going to play it here, so I'm just going to go over the story. But a 14-year-old boy visiting from Missouri died on Thursday night after falling from a ride at Icon Park in Orlando, Florida. Authorities said on Friday. Deputies responded to the Orlando free fall attraction Icon Park just after 11 p.m. Thursday after receiving a 911 call. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, witnesses on scene reported that someone had fallen from the ride. The agency said the teen was taken to Orlando Health Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children, where he died from his injuries. According to officials, Orange County Sheriff John W. Mina identified the boy during an afternoon news conference as Tyree Sampson. So rest in peace, man. Really sad. It's crazy.
I couldn't even imagine like being his family there, you know, just waiting for him to get off the ride or something like that. It would be crazy.
The saddest part is that I saw like there's a video like not only the video, but there's an image of someone that took a screenshot from the video, and they're like, when you see before the ride even takes off, he's not locked in like properly. Like you can tell that he's not locked in properly. And it's like, dude, like y'all should have checked that shit. Like what is going on, you know? So that's really sad. Like for anyone, dude, it's really crazy to think about losing your child in a scenario where they're just there to have just a good time.
Having fun and shit.
Yeah, like you're there to have a good time, and things like that are just so dangerous, bro. The older I get, I used to love roller coasters. I told Denise, the older I get, the less I'm enticed to get on one. I'm like, hell no. Like, I don't want to be on that shit.
I mean, I still like roller coasters.
I know, me too. But I'm just like, when I hear about shit like this, I'm just like, oh, especially like free fall things like that. I'm like, dude, like, it's really sad because like, the boy, like, literally, he was like a bigger kid. But you just see like when the ride's coming down, he just like gets kind of like smacked into the ground, and it's just like really fucking sad, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty violent.
Yeah, and I've heard of stories of like kids flying off like actual rides, like roller coasters and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want to be that person, and I hate that I'm so paranoid already, and I have anxiety about all this shit. So like stuff like this, I'm just like, no.
I mean, but we get in a car every day.
Yeah, I feel you. And it's way more dangerous than a roller coaster, I bet.
Well, I mean, not only that, but it's more frequent. Like,
yeah.
There's way more car accidents than, like, roller coaster accidents, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can check out the full story online, but that's most of it. And it's just something really sad, and hopefully, you know, rides get better and better, amusement parks and stuff like that. I just don't know how often they're like maintenance and stuff like that. Hopefully pretty often, you know, or I don't know. They need to build like a new generation roller coasters that are safer.
I mean, I think all that shit gets checked pretty often. Just like we have to get like health checks and shit at work and stuff like that.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. We abruptly ended the last
Yeah, we
part
did.
of the episode.
We had somewhat of a work emergency. We were expecting maybe 100 people for the show, and it turned out being like 250 basically. So our boss texted us and was like, "Hey, if you guys can come down, to the club a little early, we'd appreciate it." So we kind of just had to stop what we were doing because it was already pretty close to the time we're supposed to leave anyway. So we just had to stop and head out to work and bust that shit out, and it actually wasn't even that bad. So
yeah, so we apologize, but if you see us,
that's why we're wearing different clothes.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, we're wearing different clothes, and it might sound a little different on the audio, but it's okay.
It's also 1:11 in the morning, the night before the podcast is supposed to be published, and we got to get the shit done. So
yeah, so we're gonna just record a little bit more tonight, and I'm gonna go home and edit all day.
Shout out my boy.
But it's okay because I'm off tomorrow, and I love Thursdays.
I mean, I don't necessarily love Thursdays, but it's nice to be off. I'm gonna be cleaning all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up when I wake up and take my dogs out, do some cleaning. Hopefully I make it to the gym tomorrow. So those are my goals for tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna hit the gym too.
Yeah, definitely. So
because I skipped all workouts today. I was a lazy piece of shit today, dude.
yeah, I was not very productive myself.
I did work out, or I didn't work out, but I went for a long walk after work because I felt like a piece of shit, so I had to do something.
Yeah, no, after work, it was like I was just tired and I didn't feel that great. So I was like, let me go get some Michelada mix across the street from work.
Oh, you got some more?
Yeah, so I went across the street from work, picked up some Michelada mix.
If you'd have told me that, I would have grabbed a beer or two.
Yeah, no, I was going to grab one there too, but I was like, nah, I was just trying to go home. I was not feeling it. Like, I was not trying to stay out. So I just grabbed that real quick, went home, and then I posted to my story. I made a mega Michelada.
Oh, that shit was like 3.5 beers, huh?
No, it was 2.
Damn.
Yeah.
It looked big as fuck.
Yeah, it did. It was 2, but I drank 3.
You drank like a half of it, threw another beer in there?
No, I finished it. And then, and then I just made another one smaller, but in the same jar.
And I know you probably asked D, you're like, "Hey, baby, you want one?" She said, "Yeah," but she didn't drink it, so you had hers too.
I would love that. I would love that. That's normally true.
You'll just see her cup just sitting there, just not touched. He'll just.
Yeah, sometimes it's Denise, sometimes it's Sam.
Whoever's drinking is just being babysat.
If it's a Michelada and you didn't finish it within an hour, it's mine.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
You want a new one?
Anybody want no goddamn warm Michi? You're saving them essentially.
Yeah.
Like
Except
you'll make them another one if they want it, but
no one wants it except Eddie.
if I'm there, I want it. I don't be drinking beer no more, but I'll drink me a Mich or a few.
But yeah, I don't recommend beers because
Get you
when
bloated.
I woke up, dude. Yeah, when I woke up, I low key didn't even have that much to drink. But I was just not fucking with it. I was just like, dude, I don't feel like doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bloated. Like, I was just being lazy. Just drinking throughout the week, it's not the business. Fucking don't do it.
I've been trying to tell myself I'm gonna start drinking on the weekend. I haven't yet, but I'm gonna start.
At least Thursday through Sunday, dude. Like, dude, come on. But fuck.
Yeah, if I have a day off, I'm gonna be drinking.
Monday through Sunday, don't recommend it.
Monday through Wednesday, no drinking. Thursday through Sunday, get lit.
Let's make that the goal for April, guys.
All right, first goal, Monday through Wednesday, no drinking.
Yeah, all April, dude.
The rest of the week, though, lit.
Oh my, make up for the Monday.
Yeah,
Make up for
exactly.
Monday through Wednesday.
You got to drink double every night.
That's hilarious.
Let's fucking get into these topics, dude.
No,
Oh,
I'm having fun.
all right.
I'm just kidding.
I'll leave. I mean, it's my house, but I'll leave.
I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna get into some topics.
No.
But yeah, man, that's essentially what happened with the podcast and why we're here at this moment. But I hope you guys are enjoying and tuning in and fucking support us. And you guys are awesome. But the first thing I have coming up on the list
Hold on.
is
I'm sorry. I know I said let's get in these topics. And I'm the one that's stopping us from getting into the topics.
Go, dude.
But so okay, I went to take my dog for a walk when I got up today. I was gonna say this morning, but it was not morning.
I thought you were gonna.
You're gonna need a lighter to light that torch, so you might as well just use lighter.
I thought you were
I got
gonna
a
bring
ratchet
up
torch.
wild animals.
I mean,
I'm
my
just
dog's
kidding.
not in the animal kingdom, but
Fucked up.
but it's an animal. But so I took my dog for a walk, right? And I'm walking. I see this this nice Infiniti just stop like in the middle of the fucking road right here. And I'm looking. I was like, oh, that's a nice car or whatever. I just keep walking, taking my dog and shit. And out of nowhere, I hear, "Hey, Rufio," and I'm like, "Don't nobody call me that no more." Like,
Oh, I thought they were talking to the dog.
no, no, that was my nickname, nigga, in high school. All
I'm
my homies thought I looked
dead.
like Rufio from Hook.
That's
So
funny.
they would all call me Rufio. So I'm walking, I just hear Rufio, and I look over. It's my homie Derek from like high school and shit. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't seen this nigga in like a couple years type shit. And so I walked over to the car, and he's doing like Uber or Lyft or whatever he said now. And he got a nice ass fucking car doing his thing. I was like, oh shit, like
That's cool.
I saw my boy out here doing his thing. I was happy for him. And he said he'd be watching the podcast and shit too. So I was like, hey, bro, I appreciate that. Like,
Shout out Rufio.
yeah, shout out Rufio. Shout out my boy Derek. Appreciate you for checking us out and being a viewer. You know what I mean?
Supporter.
Yeah,
Hell
it's really cool. Appreciate it. I'm glad to see you out there doing your thing, like living well. So it's really nice to see, man.
That's
But-
nice seeing like people from back in the day, especially when they're doing good and shit.
Yeah, I love
'Cause-
seeing like my old homies doing well for themselves. Like that shit is great.
Yeah, man. Also, shout out Australia, New Zealand, and Denmark.
We've been forgetting about this like
Yeah.
for 3 podcasts. The single viewers we have in each one of those countries, shout y'all out. We appreciate y'all. Like that shit is dope.
Yeah.
But
Keep listening.
let's actually get into the topics this time.
Tell your friends. All right. No, man. But the first thing I got on the topic list is cultures helping each other out. So when we were recording previously, we were talking about how Michael went to eat with his brother, and he met someone that was really dope and had a cool conversation with
Yeah, Miss Sang
Miss Sang,
from Thailand.
and how she owned multiple businesses and promotes pretty much uplifting the rest of your family and community through your business and helping them achieve the same thing you did and start a business and move forward through that. So let's get into a little bit of that. And
Yeah.
what do you think?
So I think it's just really cool to see these cultures that are like they're destined to make sure their family moves forward, you know what I mean? And to make sure that they have family wealth and continuous wealth throughout the family, because that's the most important thing, is to keep your family going, keep your legacy or your name going, you know what I mean? And for that to actually mean something, and for your family not to live in poverty, you want to set your family up to live well so they don't have to struggle through the things that you had to struggle through, you know what I mean? I'm sure Sang doesn't want her family to have to fucking live in a foreign country and struggle there and be like, man, I gotta fucking leave and go try something completely new in a whole new country and start all the way over, you know what I mean? So the fact that she has 3 different restaurants that she started because she wants to support her family, and she bought 3 or 4 of her grandkids' cars so they can get back and forth to work because they're doing well, you know what I mean? And the fact that she's putting a few of her kids and her grandkids through college is amazing. Like, my family doesn't do those types of things, you know what I mean? I have a grandpa that has good amount of money. He did really well for himself throughout his life. And I'm not saying in any way that you have to support everyone because you're doing well. But I just think as like a head of a family, your main goal should be continued success for the rest of the family, you know what I mean? And setting a path that the rest of the family can follow so that everyone does well, not just you.
Yeah, and it is like, because we talked a little bit about this before, and it's something that like I kind of mentioned to you. It's like some people, when they come here, they look like for security and being comfortable and taking care of their immediate family, but they don't look beyond that to like make a family name or like
Right.
make something of themselves where it's like fucking there forever, you know, and it's there helping the family forever. And it's kind of that thing where I was telling you, it's like that immigrant mentality is real. Like when you come from a whole nother country and you don't have the same opportunities as you do here,
Your hustle is just different.
yeah, when you have to work the same amount and
Or we didn't have to work double for the same amount.
yeah, like not even that, because I would tell you like you could probably work the same amount and live a good life in Mexico, but the quality of life in general is not the same. Like if you earn 40K here and you earn 40K there, it doesn't matter. There's poverty at every corner. So it's like even if you live somewhere nice, as soon as you drive one block away, the whole city is shit.
There's
It's
no
like
roads.
drugs,
It's fucking just dirt. And
yeah, shitty roads, drugs, and fucking criminals everywhere, you know? It's ran by criminals. So it's like when you come from as an immigrant here, there's really like, as long as you work hard, you will have a life where it's decent. It's very like something to be proud of, you know? It's something where you can actually help your family even if you live here and you work hard, you can still send something back home and take care of your parents, your grandparents.
That's another
shit
thing
like
that I always
you know?
hear about, like, especially from people in Mexico, is they have, you know, a couple people in the family that moved to America and they work out here and they work their fucking asses off, and a lot of that money gets sent back to Mexico to support their family there, and they have, you know, like an apartment here or whatever. They're just getting by here, but they're making sure their family is set up in Mexico.
Yep, and their family will take that money and make sure that their second family is okay.
And like the best part about that, the best part about that though is like they're coming out here making American dollars, you know what I mean? And they're sending that back to Mexico, where that's what's the dollar here? The peso's like 5 times to the dollar or something like that.
It's I'm not sure now, but it's like if
Like one peso is like 20 cents, right?
So $1 here is like 20 pesos, some shit like that right now.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think the math is about right. But
it's like 4 to 5 times your money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can make that money here legally, and you know it doesn't seem like that much here, but you send that money back to Mexico and they're doing well. You know what I mean? Like they're not rich necessarily, but they're doing well.
Yeah, and they can survive. Like, yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like my grandpa and my grandma, they'll tell us how much like the gas bill is and shit, and just like electricity and all that. And it's just like something that you would be like, honestly, almost anyone in the United States will laugh at that. Like they'll be like, it's ridiculous.
Because what's the cost of living like per year?
I wouldn't know exactly, but I'll tell you, like, just with like $200, bro. I'm sure with like $200, you could pay almost all your bills in Mexico, if like not your mortgage. Like, it's crazy, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even like, that's that immigrant mentality. Once you come here, it's like, let me work hard and let me put my family in a situation where they don't have to go through what I went through, you know? When you're born, raised here, and you have it good, it's like, people, I'm sorry to say it, but it feels like people are more inclined to be like more about themselves, more about like, if I'm okay and I have my savings and shit, and I got my kid in a situation where I raised them till they were 18, go live your life. Like I see that shit a lot with like just different people in the United States that have been here for a long time, generations. They're just like, oh, you're 18, go off on your own. Bro, Hispanic parents will be like, as long as you're working towards like a degree or you're working hard at a career or something, you can stay here till you're 23,
Right.
and do whatever you got to do to fucking succeed. You know, like you're going to nursing school, whatever the fuck it is, like figure it out. But as long as you're doing something productive, you can stay in my household.
That was the one cool thing about, not necessarily the one cool thing, but that was one of the cool things about my dad, is he was basically like, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to take care of yourself and you're trying to move forward, yeah, you can stay here and you can live rent free and you can stack up your money so that when you leave, you have money to start with, you know what I mean? And that was really cool of him because he didn't have to do that, you know what I mean? I could have been 18, he'd be like, all right, bro, get the fuck out of my house type shit. But I looked up the cost of living in Mexico, and it says per month, like the cost of living would be like $900. And so I looked up the cost of living in America for a single person, and the cost would be like $3,000 per month. So
That's crazy.
That's, basically 3 times the cost of living.
And that's wild. And it also like depends what part of Mexico and
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure this is like in the cities,
general,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we both know in the rural areas of Mexico, you can get by in the year for less than $15,000.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. It's literally crazy because like some people like really don't appreciate what they got here, and it's like the older I've gotten, I've definitely been like, yeah, appreciate that shit. And I'm the same like you. It's like sometimes you're not gonna see it in your parents, your uncles, your family. You have to be the person to do it so that your kids can see that change and be like, oh, my dad did that shit. Like maybe his parents didn't do that shit, but my dad did that for me. Like I appreciate that shit.
That's the thing that I've just come to the realization with is like no one in my family has done that for the family. You know what I mean? No one has tried to set the family up for generational wealth, which in my opinion is the most important thing because for like getting racial, like for white people, the best thing for them is that their families are already set up. Their families are already rich. So, not all of them, obviously, but most situations, these families are already in a situation where we're able to provide a lifestyle for our children. You know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of black people fault is because they don't provide a lifestyle for their kid. They're already in a messed up situation. And they're just like, whatever gets us by to the next thing. And as soon as you get past that mindset of what gets us by to the next thing and you get to, all right, I need to set us up for the future, not just getting to the next thing. You know what I mean? We need to get to the next year, not the next month, and look past all these things and know that, all right, I have kids. My kids are probably going to have kids. I need to make sure I can put them through college or make sure I can get them into a trade or something like that, you know what I mean? Or have a business that I own myself that I can employ them with, you know what I mean? Because that's what sets your family up and builds your family. My family now, like I said, we don't have those things. So when I look at these other families that are doing these things, it's like, man, I have nothing but respect for them because it takes a lot to be like, all right, yeah, I made a good life for myself, but I'm not going to stop now because I got other people to look out for.
And that's what it's about, is like realizing like shit goes beyond you. Like one day you're going to die. Like, what are you going to die with all this stuff like to your name? Like, no, you might as well use that stuff or whatever you've accomplished in your life to help the people that are going to be there once you're gone. It's like stuff like that matters a lot, like you said. But it like sometimes I do think like there's a lot of barriers for us. Like you said, you mentioned white people. There are a lot of barriers, I feel like, for colored people, Hispanic people, immigrants, black people. There's systemic racism, whether people want to admit it or not. Like,
yeah, for sure.
The percentage of black people that go to jail versus any other race. Like you look at just statistics, just facts, and it's literally made up for us to fail. Minorities are made up to fail in this system. That's why a lot of people don't think like that. Like, how can I build that generational wealth? They're just thinking of like,
just
how can I
survive?
How can I be okay without getting in trouble? Like, how can I just be a regular person and stay off the radar? You know, because as soon as you get on that radar, it's like, how the
all the eyes are on you.
Yeah,
like
so it is really like a fucking balance beam, and I do feel like as culture progresses, it is getting better, and you see that time and time again. Like, people don't put up with the shit they used to put up with before when it comes like that. And it's like now we're putting people in power, Hispanic people, black people in positions where it's like, you better do something about this shit. If not, on to the next, you know? And that's what it's about. But yeah, I definitely fuck with that. And I think it's definitely something that should be promoted within households, in minority households and stuff like that, because it's definitely not some shit you're going to go get in school. It's not some shit you're gonna go
it's
learn.
Like no one else is looking out for us.
Yeah,
so
you have to look out for each other.
We need to make sure that we're looking out for each other so we can build all of ourselves
and
up.
Not on some racism shit or anything, but this is like props. And like I would say, like, if anything, feel proud of your culture. I would say a lot of Asian people, Indian people, they do a lot of that where they promote that within their households. They help each other out. They start a lot of businesses. and then they all ride around in Beamers and fucking Mercedes, like just Mercedes and
like,
fucking.
When this lady told me that she basically, she said she went to the dealership and told the kid, like, each one of them, you know, separate times obviously, but each one of them, all right, go pick a car. Like, make sure it's not too expensive, obviously, but go pick a car.
Bro, I pray that I can do that before I die for my parents. I just want to be able to just be like, Dad, Mom, pick a car. Like, don't worry about that shit.
I want to get my dad a house.
You feel me? Like, bro, like that is motivation.
I either want to get my dad a house or pay off a house that he's living in. You know what I mean?
Me too. I'm like that. I can't do that because my parents' house already paid off, and that's just an example of like an immigrant that my dad worked really hard and my mom worked really hard for everything they got.
Shout out your dad. Just like, let these people know about what your dad be doing, bro, because your dad's a hustler. He be making money, dude.
My dad is like, y'all know Gary V. You know Gary V?
I've heard you speak about Gary V.
So Gary V is all about like making money wherever you can, whether that's like garage selling, bro,
just your hustle
selling
has to be on 10.
Yeah, like he's really like, he's like, people want to live that life, but they don't want to be about that life.
They don't want to work for it.
Yeah, and I fucking feel him. He's like literally. He's like, quit your 9 to 5 and go every single day to a fucking garage sale, a fucking Ross, a fucking Marshalls.
Refurbish
find some shit that is on sale. Find some shit that's valuable. That he's like, scan that shit. See how much it's worth online. I promise you, most of the items you find in those stores, it might be $5-6, and you can sell it for $20-25 online. And then people will complain about, I have to ship it and shit. Like, bitch. You have to work at a 9 to 5. You still have to do work there.
A whole bunch of shit that you don't want to do.
You either rather ship this shit or you rather get bitched at your job, and still have to do the work.
Like, I feel like a lot of that just comes down to people like to complain about everything.
Yeah.
Like, it can be the easiest thing. Like, just like you said, all you got to do is ship something. People are like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I ain't trying to do that shit. But just like you said, but you'd rather go work 8 hours at your job and do a whole bunch of shit that you don't want to do. Or
and you could have made $15 in like 20 minutes.
Right. Instead, you made $100 in 8 hours. And you could have just shipped off 10 packages and made $150 in an hour.
Easy. Yeah. It's crazy. But that's crazy because, like, for me, just like, I was reading some shit about, because I have another thing here about the 4 agreements, because you had posted something about it. Mm-hmm. Do you mind reading that real quick? Because I know I forgot completely what it was.
So it says, action is about living fully. Inaction is a way that we deny life. Inaction is sitting in front of the television every day for years because you're afraid to be alive and to take the risk expressing what you are.
That shit hit my soul because I've read this book before. Michael just started reading it, and I think he's almost done with it. Mm-hmm. But I told him, you're in for a fucking treat, because back when I read this book,
it's an amazing book, dude.
Like, and it's crazy because I was reading on Reddit, and it's crazy. Everyone has their opinion, and people just want to feel smarter than others. And I've read content where it's like hits me, and other shit where it's like cool, and other shit where I'm like, And there's definitely points in the book where I'm like, I question some shit, and then other shit I'm like, damn, that's valuable. And that's, I think, what books are about. It's like getting, as long as you get something valuable out of each read, that's all that should matter to you. Because that's one thing that, like, I completely forgot about. That just hit me in a way where I'm like, damn, it's really crazy. Like, people do waste their lives away just watching TV, playing video games, doing other shit. And some people have careers in video games and other shit nowadays, but
when you're just not being productive and just sitting on your couch all day, just digesting all this fucking content, it's not good for you.
Yeah. And like it says, it's like, it's almost like giving up. It's literally like giving up and being like, I'd rather sit in front of this TV
and not deal with anything.
And let them promote to me whatever they want and consume whatever they want me to consume.
And subliminally, like I said, digest. You're accepting all that shit. Like, you're dealing with all this. Even the shit that you're watching, you're dealing with all of that stress and all of those things that they're doing in the show because you don't want to deal with your own life.
With all That being said, subscribe to the podcast and watch it fully.
But that's one of
I'm
those
just kidding.
things where like I was reading it and it just made me think, like I was telling you, the past 10 months have probably been the most like depressed part of my entire life. And I've been through some shit in my life, you know what I mean? But I let myself get to this place where I was just in front of the TV, just not doing anything. Before work, I was just watching TV. When I got off work, just watching TV, not being productive at all. You know what I mean? And just lately, because I've been on this thing where I'm trying to better my mind, and that's why I'm reading this book, and that's why I'm exercising a lot more and just being more productive, because I need to get myself out of that. And the only way to get out of that is to do something. Just like we were saying earlier, you can talk about things and put things out there as much as you want, but you actually have to take action to make those things happen. You can't just manifest something and hope one day that it just happens. You have to actually be striving for that goal, and you have to make a goal, you know what I mean? Because unless you make a goal, you're working for nothing.
Yeah, and like you said, I wrote this down because we're, like you said, just talking about that. It goes with destiny. It's like you have a destiny. I feel like people always have a destiny, right? But it's almost like you have two destinies, and it's all based on your choices. You can choose to take this path where it's just going to lead to nothing within your destiny, or you could choose the path on your destiny that leads to something. And you just have to really work towards that.
Yeah, I think,
You know?
everyone is destined for greatness in the long run, but it all comes down to the choice of, am I going to do what's easy or am I going to do what's hard? Because the hard way is always the right choice. The hard way is what's going to teach you a lot more lessons to get you where you want to be, and for you to be more appreciative of where you're at. If you take the easy way, you get there and you have no appreciation of where you're at, because there was no work to get there. You're just there and you treat it like it's nothing, because
That's why I hate when some people are just like, at least like they lived their life. But it's like,
did they though?
yeah, it's like, did they accomplish things that they wanted to? Did they set, like we were talking about goals, did they set a goal and accomplish that goal, and beyond that think I can do more than that, and then strive for that as well? Because I love that shit. I love when people are like, I hit this goal and I thought that was it, but then once I was there, it's like I already did that, so I have to do something beyond that, because I already accomplished everything I thought that I could. And there's more beyond that.
Dude, I was just on Facebook maybe like 2 days ago, and one of the homegirls that I went to middle school with, like she had posted about like her weight loss journey and shit like that. She was like 200 and something pounds, and she dropped like 60 pounds or something like that. And she was also posting like all the things she had accomplished in these past like few years of like, she wanted to work with one of her like favorite YouTubers and shit like that. She finished like the military. She got like the job she wanted. So it was just really cool to see that, like, yeah, this is all the things they wanted to do in their life, but they didn't just sit back and just like expect it to happen. I've seen her work for these things for years on Facebook, like all the different things that she's been doing, I've been seeing. And for her to finally be at this place where she's like, I finally reached this goal, you know what I mean? So we were just talking about, it's like reaching goals. You have to set goals and you have to reach them, because that's what gets you to the place that you want it to be.
And surround yourself with people that push you to those goals, because
100%.
there's definitely people that will try to sidetrack you, and not even that they try, but it's like maybe they're just on a different wavelength at that time.
Yeah, they're just imposing their lifestyle on you, basically.
Yeah.
Not
It's
intentionally either, but it's just that's who they are.
And you can easily fall to that, because you can be like, oh, you're my friend. If that's what you're doing, let's do that, you know?
Right.
I've definitely been in situations like that, but you just have to have, one of the biggest things for me and that I have to work on is just like discipline, dude. Discipline is key to everything, dude. Once you get disciplined on certain shit, it's like, don't allow your friends to fall into things that you know are not beneficial to yourself or them, and hold yourself accountable. Like we talked about multiple times on the podcast, because as soon as you give a little leeway, it turns into a little more leeway, and then you don't even know who you are at some point.
Because
you know,
when you're like, all right, I'll just do this one time, and then you're like, all right, I did it one time, like I can do that shit again. Like it wasn't that big of a deal the first time I did it.
Every
And
weekend.
then-
I could just do it in the weekends.
Right, and then it just gets easier and easier and easier, and you're like, all right, well now I'm in this fucking rabbit hole where I just do this thing now, and it's like, you don't need to be doing that. Like when I was like just sitting on the fucking couch every single day, not doing absolutely anything all day long, and like I didn't have any discipline to get up and fucking go do anything. But once my mindset changed, and I was like, you don't have anything else to do. Like, and I listen to podcasts and shit like that all the time. So it's like, I can be listening to that while I'm going to exercise and do whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't need to just be sitting here not doing shit because, oh man, I got to go to work later. Like, I just want to relax before I go to work. Get your lazy ass up and go do something, bro. Like, you got plenty of time to relax. Like, there is 24 hours in the day, and everyone always talks about there's not enough time in the day. And there 100% is. You just have to make the day, you know what I mean? Like, you have to make the most out of what you're doing. If you don't think there's enough time in the day, get up earlier.
Go to sleep early.
Like, literally, it sounds stupid, but it's that easy. And it's easy, but it's hard because it sounds easy, but the action is what's hard. You know what I mean? Putting that shit into action is what's hard. And so every day when I get up and I'm like, are you going to go for a walk today? Just for the fact that I thought about it, it's like, all right, I have to fucking go because I already thought about that shit. So if I don't go, I'm going to be thinking about that shit all day and be like, you're a lazy piece of shit. Get the fuck up. And like, it doesn't take that long to go on your walk. You know what I mean? Get the fuck up and just go do it. So,
and once you do it, you feel much better. And shit.
Yeah, and once you get into like
do it.
the swing of it, and you're going for a few times, like you've gone for a few times a row, you're like, you just start getting into it, and when you wake up, you're like, this is just what I got to go do. You know what I mean? It's not even like a question anymore. It's just, this is a part of my day.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely even with my anxiety, I was telling you and I wrote down, is like sometimes people think anxiety is like always bad, but I've been trying to use my anxiety in a positive light where if I'm feeling anxious, maybe I could be doing more. So like
for sure.
If I'm feeling anxious, I just started doing shit that I know needs to be done, and it makes me feel so much better. Like I'll just start doing laundry, I'll start picking up dog poop, I'll fucking do whatever I gotta do in my household just to feel like, damn, once I leave, I got that done. I'm satisfied. Like I know when I come home, I'm gonna come home to a nice spot.
And I think that like falls back into like just goals in just a small setting. You know what I mean? It's like you ain't doing shit. You feel like lazy, you're not doing nothing. You're like, and you start getting anxious because you know there's things that you could be doing. And once you get up and you're like, all right, let me set these goals for the day of the things I need to get done. And you get that shit done. You're like, cool. Now I deserve to sit back and relax and enjoy myself because I got some shit done today. You know what I mean?
That shit is rewarding, dude.
It is. Like, I know tomorrow, because like I told you, I got to clean my whole house tomorrow and shit. When I get done with that, I'm going to feel so good, especially after I go exercise and everything and I get back and my day is done. I don't have anything else to do. I'm going to feel great. And like I've been telling you, like just even after my workouts and shit and I come to work, like I'm in a much better mood because I know I did something today. I don't feel bad because I was lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Well, with that being said, dude, go do something productive. Hang out with some friends. Promote that fucking positivity for real. Because at the end of the day, man, you can, like we said, focus on that bullshit and just live that negative lifestyle, or just start changing your habits and focus on that good shit. Because at the end of the day, I promise you, when you're on that deathbed, I don't know yet because I ain't been there yet. But once you are
been there yet,
I'm
gonna hit the deathbed.
But I promise you, when you are, most people say, man, they remember that good shit. So as long as you focus on that shit and make more of those memories, just know when it's all said and done, and be on that.
Like we talked about earlier, man, focus on the vibes, like the people that are around you. Like if they're not benefiting you, there's not a problem to cutting people off and not being around them. You don't have to like be a dick to them or anything like that, but there's no problem with taking negative energy out of your life so you can better yourself. I think that's one of the most important things, is noticing your surroundings and how they affect your lifestyle. And once you can cut out the things that affect you negatively, you can live your life a lot more stress-free and a lot happier, you know what I mean? Because you're not worried about, other things about who's judging you certain ways or anything like that.
Big facts. And you never know. You might come around and meet those people again and circle back when you're at the same wavelength and grow from there and build from there, you know? So it's
I think everyone that is trying to better their lives will understand once they get to that place that it wasn't a personal thing where, like, I don't fuck with you. It's like, I'm at a point in my life where I can't be hindered by these activities and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go forward. And if you're not there yet, that's perfectly fine. Ain't nobody pressing you about that. But once they get there, they'll be like, I understand because I have to do the same thing.
Yep. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Microdose. It's a great episode.
It was.
I hope you guys listen, enjoy, share everywhere. We're going to be here every fucking Thursday. So
every fucking Thursday.
Keep tuning in.
Not on Snapchat, though.
Year by year. We're going to grow little by little, fucking view by view. And
we're going to be here for a long while, guys.
Check us out, bitch. I love y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.